Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I Ravindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College Bathur am taking the class of Shastri first. We have learned many critical appreciation of different poems. Today we see the critical appreciation of the poem The Tiger. The thought-provoking poem The Tiger is composed by visionary English poet William Blake. William Blake was a precursor of romantic poet. He was born in London, England. At a very young age, Blake displayed a very high amount of creativity. In 1789, Blake published a book called The Song of Innocence. His most famous poem in this book was titled The Lamb. The Lamb is based on a Christian view of creation and how God created the lamb as a perfect innocent being. Later in 1794, Blake published another book titled Song of Experience. In this book is the most famous poem of Blake's career, The Tiger. The tiger is a spiritual partner to his previous poem, The Lamb. In The Tiger, Blake again speaks of an idea about creation and the creation of evil. The tiger is the opposite of the lamb because instead of talking about the creation of God, he speaks about the creation of evil. In the tiger, Blake uses a very powerful rhyming scheme along with a lot of allusion referring to both Christian view of God and Greek or Roman gods and goddesses throughout the tiger. It is often said to be the most widely anthologized poem in the English language. It consists entirely of questions about the nature of God and creation, particularly whether the same God that created vulnerable beings like the lamb could also have made the fearsome tiger. At the same time, however, the poem is an expression of marvel and wonder at the tiger and its fearsome power, and by extension, the power of both nature and God. Blake structured this poem with 6 quatrains or 4-line stanzas. In these first stanza, he uses a variety of rhyming couplets, repetition, powerful imagery, and a lot of rhetorical questions to enhance the piece. He begins the first quatrain with the tiger, tiger burning bright. The word tiger is a symbol of all creation. Blake then supports that idea by describing the tiger as a burning bright. The burning bright meaning being so ferocious, being so capable, so intelligent, and having the power to do anything. Going along with the idea of the tiger being a wild, mysterious creature, he uses powerful imagery with the line in the forest of the night. This imagery creates an awesome scene of dark, mysterious environment in which the tiger is lurking. This suggests that the tiger is like a creature of the night, very dark, very mysterious, and again capable of doing unknown goods and evils. Blake ends his first quatrain with a rhetoric question: what immortal hand or eye could frame the fearful symmetry? The immortal hand or eye Blake uses is referring to a god. So he is saying what God could create or frame something that is both beautiful, symmetrical, and also so terrifying and fearful. The God who created such a creature is fearful because he made this beautiful creature of mankind to have free will. With free will means that they can choose to do right and wrong, and that in itself is terrifying. Blake begins the second quatrain of the piece with some imagery as well as another rhetoric question. In what distant deep or skies burnt the fire of thin eyes? By the term distant deep or skies, Blake is using an allusion to create a picture of heaven and hell. The line, burnt the fire of thine eyes, is directed at God. These are God's eyes. Blake is asking, who was the God who created the tiger? Was he the God in heaven or skies, or was he created by Lucifer in hell or distant deeps? The next two lines are more rhetorical questions where he asks, on what wings dare he aspire, and what the hand dare seize the fire? Again, he is wondering what God could create such a creature like a tiger. However, Blake was known to like using the Greek gods in his works. The question, on what wings dare he aspire, could refer to Icarus. Icarus created wings so that he could fly free of a labyrinth. The second rhetorical question, what the hand dare seize the fire, could refer to the god Prometheus. Prometheus is a god who stole fire from Zeus and gave that fire to mankind. So Blake asking who could dare seize the fire with their hands. Well, Prometheus dared to seize the fire so he could share it with man. In Blake's third stanza or quatraint, he uses yet another rhetorical question directed to ask who created this creature and what soldier and what art could twist the sense of the heart. In these lines, Dai is referring to the tiger and the word twisted to remind us of the free will God made man with. The twisted is also to remind how twisted or sometimes corrupt human can be. Blake uses imagery to show how the heart of this beast begins to beat, and then once God had made the heart beat, he again says, what dread hand and what dread fate. This shows how God asks against himself if he dreaded creating such a magnificent creature that is capable of both good and evil. The fourth stanza begins with an awesome allusion referring to the Greek god Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the blacksmith or god of fire and metallurgy. What the hammer, what the brain, in what furnace was the brain? For these black presents an imagery of god like Hephaestus in a dark, hell-like place, just hammering away to create this beast. Blake is implying the tiger to be made of hard metallic steel. The next, he uses what the anvil, which paints the picture of a god like Hephaestus hammering away on an anvil to create the tiger out of metallic substances. To close the stanza, Blake uses a lot of dark, ominous words such as dread, dear, deadly, and traitorous are words that describe something evil. Black chooses to use these words to paint an image of the tiger being an evil creature, which begins to lean us away from the assumption that the tiger was created by the God in heaven and therefore capable of good as well as in evil. The tiger and its deadly terrors collapse is more imagery to remind us that the tiger is dark, mysterious, and horrifying. Black states with the fifth quatrains with powerful imagery as well as an illusion. When it says, stars drew down their spears, it is talking about when God's angels defeated Lucifer's angels by using spears. The next part of these lines, and watered heaven with their tears, is also speaking about the holy war of the angels. The angels of God are watering the heavens with their tears, because they feel compassion to their angels brother who follow Lucifer. The imagery in these two lines clearly forms some kind of picture. It is an old tale that the twinkling of stars are the angels in the heavens. Looking closely, it can be suggested that the words stars means angels. So the angels are throwing down their spears. There was a time that Lucifer became enraged and rebelled against God and this and his angels. Lucifer then went up into the heavens and battled with God and his angels. The next two lines of the poem suggest something different, that the tiger is evil, so its creator would inherently be Lucifer. The question points to the conclusion that it was in fact God who made the tiger. Being the tiger is not perfect and pure, it is hard to believe that the same God created both these creatures. However, Black has showed us that they were in fact made by the same creator, and the creator is the God in heaven. The sixth and the final quatrain of the poem is a recap of the first quatrain. He uses repetition of the three lines which are identical to the first three lines of the poem. The tiger links to mankind. The burning bright refers to the flourishing and furiousity of the tiger. The line in the forest of the night again is used as imagery to get the reader to a picture a dark, mysterious environment, implying that the tiger is a creature of the night. Lastly, the immortal hand or eye is a symbol of a higher power. God is the one who created the tiger, a creature that is both terrifying and beautiful at the same time. There is one difference between Blake made in his final stanza from the first one. In the first stanza, Blake used could frame the fearful symmetry, meaning is God actually capable of creating a creature so terrifying yet beautiful? It was God who created both the tiger and the lamb. Although they are different and the tiger is said to be possessed of evil, God knew what he was doing and he made the tiger to be free so that we could live happily. In short, we conclude that in this poem, the tiger is our hero and he is being born into the world via creation of God. The tiger is being born and Black is attempting to show us what his identity is by test and natural experiences. Birth is the beginning of a hero's life, and at first they have the choice of whether they want to be good or evil. They are capable of both at birth, just as the tiger is capable of doing good and evil.